Night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums, Tums. Tums, famous quick relief for acid indigestion, presents A Date with Judy.
Hello, Judy Foster speaking. Well, hello, George. I'm so glad you called. Not that I can give you a date tonight. I hope you aren't too disappointed, but I already have one, and after all, it is rather late for you to be calling, and... What's that? Oh, you wanted to talk to Randall. Well, jeepers, why didn't you say so?
That's Judy, folks. Judy Foster, the cutest date in town. Your date with her each Tuesday at the same time is arranged by the makers of Tums for quick relief from acid indigestion. Well, it's a beautiful spring afternoon, and Judy is at her friend Barbara's house, sitting in a swing on the front porch. Barbara speaks.
Be honest, Judy. Tell me the absolute truth. How many dates did you have in the last week?
3.
Gee, I only had 2. I struck a new low for 1944.
Well, I could have had 4. That is, if I'd been able to squeeze Oogie Pringle and Johnny Linker both in the same night.
That's life. Every time you have a date, somebody else calls the same night. If one could only get better distribution on dates.
I know, it's devastating.
Still, I'd say that you and I are the most popular girls in our whole crowd.
Yes. All except Tootsie Whiteman.
Missy Hoffman.
And Jane Tuttle. And Irene Frankel.
Well, anyhow, we're still more popular than Lulu Benson.
Yes, definitely.
Well, girls, now how would you like a nice cold drink of lemonade?
Why, Aunt Carrie, how adorable of you to make us lemonade. And cookies, too. This is just precious of you, Miss Winsocket.
Oh, don't call me Miss Winsocket, Judy. Just call me Aunt Carrie. All Barbara's friends do.
Okie dokie, Aunt Carrie.
Now, I'll just pour you both out a glass.
Oh, I'm utterly mad about lemonade. It tastes just like champagne.
You like champagne?
I'm gaga about it.
You know, I never had any.
Neither did I. But I bet if I ever did, I'd be gaga about it. Oh, champagne. It sounds so delicious.
Well, I've got to go back in the house. I'll just leave the picture out here with you.
Thanks a billion, Aunt Carrie.
Oh, you're welcome, dear.
Oh, Barbara, I think your Aunt Carrie is simply adorable.
She is. It's a great pity she never married.
Yes, I feel dreadfully sorry for her.
Wouldn't it be awful to be an old maid? Not that it could ever happen to us.
Oh, naturally not. I intend to marry early.
I don't. I expect to stay single for eons, having dates all over the place. I may even wait till I'm 20 to marry.
20? Jeepers, don't you think you're taking an awful chance?
Probably, but I intend to risk getting stuck. Say, Judy, isn't that your brother Randolph coming up the walk?
Yes, he must have smelled the cookies.
Hi, girls. What are you doing?
Have a cookie and pipe down.
Sure. Pass the pitcher, please.
There isn't another glass, and I'm not going in the house to get one.
Yeah, I see your point. I will therefore drink right out of the pitcher.
Oh, Randolph, you were slightly disgusting.
Yes, it's too bad about Aunt Carrie. Of course, there isn't any hope for her now. She's 38.
And also, she has that face.
Maybe a matrimonial bureau could do something for her.
Randolph! That's a terrific idea, isn't it?
Yeah. But the man always has to see a photograph before he proposes. And once a man sees Aunt Carrie's photograph...
Yes, I guess that's out.
Yeah, I guess Aunt Carrie's a dead duck.
I know! Why couldn't we send the man a picture of some other woman?
That's a terrific idea. But not somebody too young like a movie star. It ought to be the picture of somebody real.
Yes, it should. Hey, why couldn't we send the man Mother's picture? Mother's not so young, and still she's attractive.
That's marvelous. And we'll just say it's Aunt Carrie.
Of course.
Very clever. Except the time will come when the man will stop looking at the photograph and ask to see the genuine article.
Oh, yes. Before he married her, I suppose he would. Gee, no matter how alluring you make her at first, sooner or later he's bound to get a nasty shock.
Wait, kids, let's be logical. The important thing at the beginning is to lure a man into writing to Aunt Carrie. And once he starts writing to her, well, he may just fall in love with her letters and not care what she looks like.
Yes, Aunt Carrie writes utterly gorgeously. She won all kinds of essay contests when she was a girl.
During the Middle Ages?
And once she won a poetry contest.
She did?
The prize poem started, "Alas, the storm does shake the trees, and quaking are the birds and bees. The black clouds glower in the east. 'Tis not a night for man nor beast.
It's not a poem for a man nor beast either.
I think it's beautiful.
Well, I'm a man, and she couldn't lure me with that.
Randolph, you're not old enough to know whether you're lureable or not.
Well, the important thing is to get Aunt Carrie started, and then let poetry do the rest.
Absolutely. Randolph, look. Right here in the Sunday paper. A perfectly terrific ad.
What?
In large letters, lonely. Then in small letters it says, if so, let the Throbbing Heart Matrimonial Bureau solve your problem. Oh, isn't that a beautiful name for a matrimonial bureau, Randolph? The Throbbing Heart.
Just makes me throb all over.
I'm going to write them immediately.
I thought Aunt Carrie was the author in this gang.
Well, Barbara's kind of afraid to mention it to her in the beginning. Aunt Carrie's shy, so I'm going to kind of get the correspondence going, and then just as soon as an enticing letter comes from a man...
Enticing enough to entice Aunt Carrie?
Mm-hmm. Then we'll let her take over.
Well, that's white of you.
Give me that piece of paper. Now, what do I say?
Oh, something like, Dear Throbbing Heart Matrimonial Bureau, I am very lonely, even though I'm a gorgeous woman of 38.
Well, let's make her 35. After all, a man doesn't want to marry an antique.
Not even if she writes poetry?
Oh, be serious, Randolph. This is a very beautiful thing we're doing. Outside of working for the Red Cross or joining the Wax or something, I can't think of anything nobler that Barbara and I could do than mend an aching heart.
I apologize.
I think I'll say something like, the man of my dreams is tall, romantic, poetry-loving, wealthy, handsome, blonde or brunette optional.
Yeah, it's good to give him some leeway.
Will you kindly advise me at once if you can supply me with such a gentleman? Object, matrimony.
Very well put.
Well, now, as soon as I get this written, I guess all we'll have to do is just sit back and wait for results.
Just fresh out of the box.
Oh, bring it in, Randolph. Is it there?
What?
An answer to my letter.
Don't tell me you gave our address.
Well, I'm using ours temporarily, just while we're dealing with the Matrimonial Bureau. As soon as we get a man, Aunt Carrie can take over.
Oh.
For heaven's sake, Randolph, did the letter come?
Well, let's see. There's a letter from the gas company, a notice from the OPA, a postcard from Father's draft board.
Please, Father, get to something important.
Yeah, here it is. Throbbing Heart Matrimonial Bureau.
Oh, open up. Quick, what does it say?
Oh, wait a minute. Dear Madam, we have received your interesting letter and wish to state that upon receiving a fee of $2, the Throbbing Heart Matrimonial Bureau will be happy to forward you a list of eligible gentlemen, from which list you may take your choice.
Jeepers, $2.
Well, it was a swell idea while it lasted. Now what do we got to eat in the house?
Randolph, come right back here.
What do you want?
I am not going to be stymied in saving Aunt Carrie from a life of misery by a paltry $2.
Since when was $2 paltry?
I don't care. I'll raise it if I have to go out and scrub floors for it.
You know, Judy, sometimes I think you're a very admirable character.
I know where I'll get it. Mother!
Other times I think you're a very practical character.
Mother!
Well, before we find out just how much Judy's self-sacrificing spirit will cost, I want to tell you, here's how you can relieve a spell of acid indigestion in a twinkling without taking bicarbonate of soda. Here's how you can relieve those acid pains, that heartburn, that uncomfortable full feeling without taking time out from your work or play. Just carry Tums with you, and the moment any sign of acid indigestion shows, put 1 or 2 Tums in your mouth. Tums are made especially for the relief of acid indigestion. That's their whole purpose. That's their whole job. Concentrating on one thing, they do it unusually well. Why bother with makeshift when you can get specialized relief for acid indigestion? Get Tums for the tummy at any drugstore counter. 10 cents a roll or a 3-roll package for $0.25. And now, back to A Date with Judy. Well, Judy and Randolph are well on their way to saving an old maid from old maidhood. The lady they're doing all this for is an aunt of Judy's friend Barbara. We pick up the kids as they rush into Barbara's house just after receiving a second letter from the Matrimonial Bureau.
Barbara! Here I am. Hi, Randolph.
Hi, Barbara.
Barbara, it came.
It did?
Yes, we dashed over to tell you right away.
I'm dying to see it.
Oh, Barbara, the Throbbing Heart Matrimonial Bureau is so efficient. They sent a whole long list of eligible men. All we have to do is just pick out the one that's the most Aunt Carrie's type and start working on him.
That's terrific.
Aunt Carrie might hear us.
No, she's downtown today.
Well, I guess she can't hear us then.
Listen. Mervyn B. Schluppenhauser, height 5 feet 2 inches. Too short.
Yeah, look at somebody else.
Oh, here's one. He's tall enough and extremely handsome, it says. And he's an explorer. Oh, Barbara, isn't that romantic? An explorer.
Sounds too good to be true.
There must be something wrong with him.
There is. He lives in Cairo, Egypt.
Well, what with the gas shortage and all, he might have a little trouble taking Aunt Carrie out on dates.
Oh, jeepers. I hope everybody on the list isn't an out-of-town man. Let's see. Here's one from Chicago, Albuquerque. Here's one. Here's one from right here in town.
No, honestly, who is it?
Jonathan D. Inglefinger, height 5 foot 6.
Mr. Inglefinger.
Do you know him, Randolph?
Why, sure, I see him every week at scout meetings.
Don't tell me he's a Boy Scout.
No, he's a scoutmaster.
Oh, that's rather romantic, isn't it? Something like an explorer in a way.
Can you beat that? It kills me.
What does, Randolph?
Oh, Mr. Inglefinger being on a matrimonial bureau list.
What do you mean, old Mr. Inglefinger?
Well, he's 55 if he's a day, maybe more.
55 and a Scoutmaster? How could that be?
Well, our last 5 scoutmasters were drafted.
Jeepers.
But we aren't worried about Mr. Inglefinger.
I thought a Scoutmaster had to be sort of rugged. Is an old man like Mr. Inglefinger practical?
Oh, he works out fine. On our last hike, he broke down, and the boys got in so much practice making an emergency stretcher to bring him home on.
I wonder if he's the right type for Aunt Carrie.
He gives us all kinds of exercise.
He does?
Yeah. The time we went to Lookout Hill, Curly Whiteman and I had to make a little chair out of our hands to carry Mr. Inglefinger to the top.
Oh, gee, Barbara, I'm very discouraged. Is he the only eligible man who lives in town here?
Yes.
Oh, then I guess Aunt Carrie will have to marry him.
Yes, I guess so.
Oh, well, he may be a very nice man.
Oh, he is. The boys are bats about him. Why, the time he broke his leg, we all practically lived at the hospital.
How'd he break his leg, Randolph?
Well, he was showing us how to tie a noose knot, and his leg got caught in the noose.
For goodness sake, Aunt Carrie's home.
Let's bring the subject up, Barbara.
Yes, let's.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello, Aunt Carrie.
Hi.
Hello, Aunt Carrie.
Aunt Carrie, would you consider marrying a man with a broken leg?
What? Oh, his leg's all better now.
It is?
Oh, yeah. He's in perfect health at the moment, except for the poison ivy.
Well, this man, whoever he is, sounds very interesting. But you know how I feel about marriage, Barbara.
How, Aunt Carrie?
Well, I think marriage is very nice for people who are married. But I happen to be very happy as I am. I love keeping house for Barbara and her parents, and I have plenty to do with the Red Cross work and being a nurse's aide.
But, Aunt Carrie, you don't want to be an old maid, do you?
Oh, I'm afraid I do. Anyhow, that's what I am. And I really don't mind a bit.
But, Aunt Carrie...
Oh, now stop worrying about me, dear. I'm really not worth all the concern you're giving me. Now, I'd better go in and put the potatoes on.
You see what I mean? She always talks like that.
Well, I think she's just covering up. I think underneath it all, she's filled with romance and longing for a mate. Oh, quiet, ape man.
You don't think we ought to give up?
I definitely do not.
And besides, we've already got $2 invested in her.
Absolutely.
Well, then, you'll have to write the first letter to Mr. Inglefinger for her, Judy.
All right. And maybe when we get a reply from him and she sees how dear and pathetic and everything he is, her heart will take pity on him.
Who are we doing this for her or for him?
For both of them. We'll be saving her from herself and him from the Boy Scouts. How does this sound, Randolph? Dear Mr. Inglefinger, forgive me for being so bold as to begin this correspondence, but I'm a romantic woman of 33 years of age and...
Oh, I see you sniffed off a few more years.
Yes. And you know how I'm going to sign her? Well, Carrie is so plebeian. I'm just going to sign her Snookums.
Judy, Mr. Inglefinger replied.
What does he say?
Dear Snookums, I received your beautiful letter and wish to state I am a sentimental gentleman of 49 years of age and would like very much...
Oh, Judy, Aunt Carrie still won't consider marriage. What'll we do?
Well, I guess we'll just begin on another letter. Randolph, guess what? Mr. Inglefinger wants Snookums' photograph.
The time has come.
Well, in view of what Aunt Carrie looks like, I think the only safe course still is to send him Mother's photograph.
Oh, Judy, did you really send your mother's picture?
Yep. Randolph took the one on Father's bureau, and we mailed it the day before yesterday. We ought to get a reply out of Mr. Inglefinger any minute.
Where are you going with Mother?
Downtown, dear. I've got some shopping to do.
Well, enjoy yourself.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I seem to have run right into you.
That's quite all right. Snookum!
Sir?
I'd know you anywhere. Oh. You're even more beautiful than your picture.
My picture? Really, I don't know
Oh,
you.
I knew you'd be that way. Shy and girly.
But now, really, sir, if this is a pickup, I think that...
Oh, Snookum. Oh, you're just the way I knew you'd be. Fiery and headstrong.
Well, I hope you don't mind my saying so, but I think that you're crazy or something.
I suppose I am crazy about you. Yes, quite true.
Well, please excuse me. I'm in quite a hurry.
But Snookums! Snookums!
Judy has really upset the matrimonial apple cart. We'll hear more in a moment. Say, do you ever suffer from acid stomach? Is acid indigestion your lot after excessive smoking or hurried eating or worry or nervous strain? Then you ought to get acquainted with Tums. Tums, spelled Tums, are quick and decisive relief for acid indigestion. They are made to order for relief of acid stomach discomfort. Tums almost instantly neutralize the excess acid in the stomach. They quickly relieve those mean acid pains, that sharp heartburn, and oppressive fullness. Almost before you know it, your stomach feels peaceful and contented again. You've probably never known such relief for acid indigestion as Tums, and yet Tums are guaranteed to contain no soda. By all means, try Tums if you're subject to acid indigestion. Carry them with you always, and you'll always be prepared with ready relief. Get Tums for the tummy today and see how they take the ache out of acid stomach. Only 10 cents a roll or a 3-roll package for $1 at any drugstore. And now back to A Date with Judy. Well, Randolph, Judy, and Judy's friend Barbara have taken it upon themselves to marry off Barbara's Aunt Carrie through the kind offices of a matrimonial bureau. But the kids have sent the man of their choice Mother's photograph instead of Aunt Carrie's. We find Judy and Randolph at home.
Oh, Randolph, this letter that came today from Mr. Englefinger is simply, ardent.
I guess Mother's pictures put the final clincher on him.
Now, all we have to do is just pop Aunt Carrie on him and the deal's set.
Well, what if he wants to marry Mother instead of Aunt Carrie?
Oh, Randolph, don't be silly.
But look what he says in his letter. After looking at your picture, I feel you are definitely the girl of my dreams.
Yes, it does seem kind of definite, doesn't it?
His dreams are going to have to take one heck of a big switcheroo when he sees Aunt Carrie.
But when he realizes Aunt Carrie wrote those beautiful letters...
Palsy, do you realize you wrote those beautiful letters?
That's right. I did, didn't I?
When he finds out, what if he wants to marry you?
Well, things are a little complicated at the moment. But I'm sure with a little thought we can straighten them all out. Oh, hello, everybody.
Oh, hiya, Mother.
Hello, Mother.
Well, I had quite a day.
You did?
Yes. Children, do you know a man tried to pick me up downtown?
Really?
Yes. A thing like that hasn't happened to me in years.
Well, you know, you're a pretty attractive dame.
Well, thank you, dear. I suppose I must have a certain something. Wait till I tell your father.
He'll appreciate you twice as much as usual.
Can you imagine that man? He called me Snookums.
Snookums.
Uh-oh.
And all the way home, I had the strangest feeling I was being followed.
Followed?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it were this man.
Did the man, did he say what his name was by any chance?
Well, of course not. You think I got that familiar with him?
Well, I guess as soon as he addressed you, you just gave him a dirty look and walked right away.
Well, naturally.
Did he look as if he had poison ivy?
Poison ivy? Why do you ask, Randolph?
Oh, just a passing thought. Pay no attention.
Oh, you know, on second thought, he did rather look as if he had poison ivy. His face was kind of red.
Would you say he was 5'6" in height?
Yes, about... Judy, do you know who this man is?
Oh, no. That is, not unless he's Mr. Englefinger.
Well, who is Mr. Englefinger?
Oh, Mother. Well, I might as well tell you in case he comes barging in here anyhow.
Now, Judy, what is this all about?
We sent your picture to a man we got through a matrimonial bureau.
You what?
He thinks you're Snookums.
Judy, you sent my picture. Are you trying to marry me off? Don't you like your father?
Well, of course, Mother dear, but...
Oh, the doorbell. Uh-oh.
I'll answer it. And if it's that man, I tell you right...
Let's hide, Randolph.
I'm staying right where I am behind this curtain.
Oh, so it is you.
Snookum.
Now, don't you come in here snookumsing me.
After the misunderstanding we had, I felt I had to follow you home.
Oh,
I felt I had to reveal myself to you at last.
well.
I'm Jonathan.
Well, that's just dandy, but I'll tell
Well,
you...
didn't you hear what I said, dearest? I'm Jonathan. Jonathan Inglefinger.
Now, see here, Mr. Inglefinger. I know this isn't your fault, but there's been a horrible mistake. My children sent you my picture.
Your
and
children?
Yes, I'm a very happily married woman, and I have 2 lovely children. Not that I think they're so lovely at the moment, but anyhow, that's what I have.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I've kind of made a fool out of myself.
Oh, well, now, don't be unhappy about it, Mr. Inglefinger. You know, it really could have happened to anybody.
Well, I'm sorry I bothered you, Snookums.
Oh, well, that's all right. It just turned out. I'm really sorry it turned out that way for you.
Yes, I had built up rather high hopes. Well, goodbye.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Inglefinger. Judy, Randolph, where are you?
Right here, Mother.
Well, come out from behind that curtain, you 2. Oh, I just wish you were young enough to spank. That's what I wish.
But, Mother, if you'll just let me explain,
I can wait till your father hears about this. My picture. Snookums.
And that's how it was, Barbara. It all ended in devastation.
What an awful shame.
It's been very hard on the Boy Scouts. Mr. Inglefinger called off the meeting tonight, and we were going to have donuts and cocoa, too.
Well, we tried. Well, I guess Aunt Carrie is now doomed to a life of solitary confinement. Oh, Barbara.
Yes?
You know you were asking me about my lending you Oogie Pringle for a date?
Yes.
Well, you can have him this week. I'm not allowed to have any dates till Sunday.
Thanks, Barbara. But I guess my heart just isn't in it much. Poor Aunt Carrie.
Yes, I feel so sorry for her.
Oh, that's your doorbell. I'll take it, Barbara.
Thanks, Randolph.
Why, Mr. Inglefinger.
Good evening, Randolph. I'm sort of surprised to see you here.
Well, I'm sort of surprised to see you here, too.
Randolph.
Oh, this is my sister Judy, and this is Barbara Winsock.
Oh, Miss Winsocket's niece, I take it.
Why, yes.
Oh, I've heard so much about you from your Aunt Carrie.
From my Aunt Carrie?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I came to call on her. Would you inform her I'm here, please?
Well, of course Well, excuse me a minute. I'll get her right away.
Do sit down, Mr. Inglefinger.
Well, I believe I will. I'm a little bit weary this evening.
Yeah, I can understand that. How's the poison ivy, Mr. Inglefinger?
Oh, healing nicely, thanks. Are you calling on the young Miss Winsocket, Randolph?
No, she's a little old for me.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, I just came along with my sister Judy. Judy and Barbara are friends.
Bosom friends.
Well, that's nice.
Here's Aunt Carrie.
Why, Mr. Inglefinger, how nice to see you.
Well, I just felt that I had to talk to you this evening, Miss Winsocket. You were so sweet to me when I was in the hospital.
In the hospital?
Yes, I met Mr. Inglefinger there.
When I broke my leg, you know.
Aunt Carrie is nurse's aide, Judy.
Well, now that we've got that straightened out, what I was saying, Aunt Carrie, I mean Miss Winsocket.
Yes, Mr. Inglefinger?
Would anybody like the younger generation to leave the room?
Oh, no, that isn't necessary.
Oh, we'll go out on the porch anyhow. Come on, girls.
Okay.
Golly, isn't this amazing?
And we never knew she knew him.
Hey, girls, come here to the window. You can hear what they're saying.
Randolph, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Eavesdropping. It's disgusting.
Move over.
Why, I'd love to.
Yes. It was all perfectly dreadful, Carrie. May I call you Carrie?
Of course. Well, now you tell me just what happened, Jonathan. May I call you Jonathan?
Oh, of course.
I wish they'd stop calling each other names and get to the point.
Well, it seems that I was just a victim.
Oh, no, not a victim.
Yes, I'm afraid I was. You see, I was deceived in love. Now, not that I was the aggressor. On the other hand, I would say it was rather the woman who pursued me.
That's the way some women are.
Yes. She chased me, in the vernacular of the street.
Oh, now terrible.
Oh, she knew no shame. She called me up at all hours of the night.
Shame on Mother.
Oh, she sounds very bold.
Oh, she was. She wore me down. Do you know that I was in no condition for the scouts whatsoever?
You poor dear boy.
And the scouts were in no condition for him.
And then, just when she'd broken down my resistance, plunged me into, I might say, a dither, the truth came out.
A dither? Oh, you poor boy.
Oh, I welcome your sweet compassion, Carrie.
Thank you.
She turned out to be married.
No.
Oh, yes.
Not only that, but she had 2 children.
Cutest little tyke you ever saw.
Oh, Jonathan, my heart just aches for you.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
Was she, attractive?
Very beautiful. I might say she looked rather like Hedy Lamarr.
Yikes. I wish Mother were here.
You can't imagine, after what I went through, what a comfort it is to look into your wholesome face.
Homely face, he means.
Oh, Jonathan.
Well, Carrie, you see before you a broken man.
I'll do everything in my power to help you forget. That is, if you'll let me, Jonathan.
Oh, I will.
Perhaps we could attend a meeting of the Anti-Vivisection League this evening.
That'd make me forget everything.
Charming, Carrie. I should be delighted to escort you.
Hey, he's holding her hand.
Yeah, and all the way up to the elbow.
Randolph, look here in the newspaper.
What?
Aunt Carrie announced her engagement to Mr. Inglefinger.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The wedding is set for Wednesday. Jeepers, he must have swept her off her feet.
Well, that was a pretty big-sized broom she used.
Well, we did it, didn't we?
What do you mean we did it?
Well, if we hadn't sent Mr. Inglefinger Mother's picture, he wouldn't have gone to Aunt Carrie's that night to be comforted.
You're absolutely right, Judy. I'm going to write to the Throbbing Heart Matrimonial Bureau and tell them that we know a satisfied customer.
Well, we'll be back with the Fosters next week. But first, don't let acid indigestion impair your efficiency or your disposition. Don't let it spoil your fun or ruin your sleep. Take Tums. Slip 1 or 2 Tums in your mouth at the first sign of excess gastric acidity, and you'll have comfort you never dreamed possible. Tums quickly relieve the misery of acid indigestion. They quickly calm that heartburn, that fogginess, and that uncomfortable full feeling. In a jiffy, they have your stomach sweet and fresh. Just try Tums, and you'll carry a roll with you religiously. Tums are convenient and very pleasant to take. Just slip them in your mouth as you would candy mints. There's no mixing, no bother, no water. And get Tums today. Only 10 cents a roll at all drugstore counters. But be sure you get Tums for the tummy, T-U-M-S. There are many imitations of Tums, but no substitute for them. A Date with Judy is written by Arlene Leslie and stars Louise Erickson and Dix Davis. The music was composed by Paul Sortel and conducted by Konstantin Bakalanikov to the courtesy of RKO Studios. The program was produced and directed by Helen Mack. This is Art Baker inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday at the same time to keep your Date with Judy. And remember, night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums. T-U-M-S.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. KFI, Los Angeles.
All right, that concludes the first episode of the night. I hope you all liked it, and take your 5-minute break, and we'll be back then. Yeah. And that concludes our 5-minute break. I hope you liked the music, and let's get to episode 2 of the night. Yay! Woo!
Night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums, T-U-M-S. Tums, famous quick relief for acid indigestion, presents A Date with Judy.
Hello? Miss Foster speaking. Oh, just a minute, please. Judy, it's for you.
Oh, butterflies, maybe it's a date. I'm coming. I'll be right there. Wait a minute. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh, tell her I'm terribly busy and couldn't possibly come to the phone.
That is Judy, folks. Judy Foster, the cutest date in town. And your date with her each Tuesday at the same time is arranged by the makers of Tums, famous quick relief for acid indigestion. Well, it's evening at the Foster house. Now, Father is out of town on business, but Judy and Randolph, her 12-year-old brother, and Mother are all in the living room.
Jeepers, Mother, won't it be wonderful when I'm mayor?
When you're mayor, Judy? What are you talking about?
Are you going to run for mayor?
In a sense.
Well, I don't know who your opponent is, but I know one vote he's going to get.
Judy, what is this mayor business?
It's just simply that all the girls in all the schools in town are writing compositions on good government.
Oh.
And the one who writes the best composition, that's me, becomes the mayor of the town for Girls' Day.
For Girls' Day? Well, what's that?
Oh, it's like Boys' Day, only for girls.
I don't understand.
Oh, Mother. On Girls' Day, all of the political offices in town are taken over by schoolgirls.
Oh, really?
Mhm. That's what this composition I'm writing is for. The girl who writes the best composition is mayor, the next best composition district attorney, and so on.
Well, from what I know about your writing, the best you can hope for is dog catcher.
Is that so? Well, just let me tell you, Randolph Foster, that my composition is going to win. That is, if I could think of something to write.
Well, what have you got so far?
Good Government by Judy Foster. Good government is a condition, and so on, of each his civic duty, period. Therefore, and so on, etc.
Well, that's very good. I like your clear style.
Don't be so funny, Randolph. I'm just trying to get the good part.
You mean it gets even better?
Randolph Foster, all I can say is when I get to be mayor of this town, I'm going to have you deported.
Good morning, Miss Foster.
Randolph, this composition here...
Oh, that's just a little thing I knocked off last night while you were doing yours.
Randolph, I read what you wrote, and it's simply wonderful.
Well, thanks.
It's much better than my composition. It's perfect. All I'd have to do would be call it Good Government and submit it.
Now, wait a minute. You're not going to take my homework and submit it
I'd pay you for it.
But, Judy, you'd be making an awful
I'd
mistake.
pay you half my allowance.
Now, wait a minute. That thing
My
there is
whole
not what you-
allowance.
A very tempting offer,
Oh,
but
thanks,
you see...
Randolph. You don't need to worry about a thing. I won't say a word.
But, Judy, you
My
don't...
entire allowance, don't forget.
I'm not,
Here's
but
the
you
$2. Now I've got to hurry. I'll take it with me and copy it over in my handwriting my first period in school. Goodbye.
Well, no matter what happens, nobody can say this is my fault.
Mother, guess what?
Well, I give up. What?
No, Mother, try and guess.
Can I guess, too?
Sure, Randolph, but you'll never guess in a million years.
You won the contest, and you're going to be the mayor on Girls' Day.
How did you know?
I guess. You mean you really did?
Yes, I did. I wish you hadn't guessed. It was going to be such a nice surprise for Mother. Golly, you spoil everything.
Oh, it is a wonderful surprise, baby. It's the nicest surprise I've had in a long time. Why, I'm just surprised to pieces.
You are, Mother?
Yes.
Isn't it scintillating? Isn't it just too... Well, just too...
Scintillating?
Isn't it just too scintillating?
Oh, I wish Father were here. He'd get such a kick out of it.
Yeah, if he'd known this was going to happen, he'd never have gone out of town.
And guess what else? Tootsie Whiteman won second place. So she's the district attorney.
A more ideal moment for a crime wave I never knew.
Oh, Randolph, I'm going right upstairs and write to your father this very minute. He'll just explode with pride.
Judy, are you really going through with this thing?
Well, of course I am, Randolph. Why shouldn't I?
Well, one reason is you didn't write the composition.
That's true. But I know it by heart. And I almost could have written it, Randolph. I agree with it so entirely. If necessary, a man in office must legislate against his own interests if such legislation is in the best interest of the majority of the people.
But, Judy, the man who said that
Randolph, I feel it just as much as you do. And it's my big opportunity. After all, if I don't accept the mayorhood, I can't legislate in the best interest of the majority of the people, can I?
No, and even if you do accept the mayorhood, you can't legislate, period.
I intend to give as much as I can to my city in the soup kind of time allotted to me. Oh, Randolph, you wouldn't stand in my way, would you?
I wouldn't.
I knew you'd feel like that. Together, we will wipe out crime and set a new standard of good civics for our community.
What do you mean, together?
Well, I was kind of thinking of appointing you my secretary on Girls' Day.
Oh, hush money, huh? And not only that, but starting out by giving jobs to your relatives.
Do you want the job or don't you?
Well, I'd better take it. I'm unemployed, and the draft might get me.
Hello? Yes, this is Dora Foster. No, I'm not doing a thing this afternoon. Bingo? Oh, I just love it. Where? 123 Eucalyptus Street. Yes.
Mother, we're leaving now.
Oh, just a minute, Miss Hagel. I want to say goodbye to the children. Hold the phone, will you?
Farewell, Mother.
Goodbye, children, and good luck. And be sure and do big things today.
We will, Mother. So long.
Bye. Oh, hello, Miss Hagel. They're gone. You know, Judy's to be mayor today. Yes, it's Girls' Day. Oh, I'm so proud of her. Yes, maybe this town needs a woman's touch. Well, what about the bingo game? Well, what time? 2 o'clock? Oh, good. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Well, Miss Foster, here we are. The mayor's office. Let's go in.
But, officer, don't you think we ought to knock first?
What for? It's your office, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, don't worry. I'll take care of everything.
Yes? What do you want?
I'm...
Well, out with it. I'm a busy man.
She's the mayor, sir.
She's the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression I was.
Yes, sir.
Judy, come back here.
You see, sir, this is Girls' Day, and Miss Foster was appointed mayor for today.
She was.
Uh-huh.
Well, why don't they tell me about these things? I suppose you have to occupy this office today? Well, answer me.
It's the customary thing.
I suppose so. Oh, gosh, it seems only a few weeks since it was Boys' Day. Well, come back in an hour or two. I've got some things to do.
Yes, sir.
Well, she's supposed to be mayor all day.
Huh? Well, who are you? I thought this was supposed to be Girls' Day. You're not a girl.
She appointed me her secretary.
Are you a relative of hers?
Yeah.
I might have known. Miss, you're sure you wouldn't like to start being mayor in an hour or two?
No, sir, we wouldn't.
Young man, you're a natural-born mayor's secretary. When you're a little older, look me up.
Yes, sir, if you're still mayor.
If I... Well, I never thought of that. Well, Might as well go fishing. Now, don't touch anything around the office, girlie.
Girlie, that's no way to talk to the mayor. How would he like it if I called him Sonny?
Well, here you are. Here you are in the mayor's office. The photographers will be in soon to take some pictures. What do you want to do in the meantime?
Well, we could... I don't know.
Well, can you think of any laws you'd like to pass?
How do you pass a law, Randolph?
Well, I guess you just call in your secretary and say, take a law.
Okay. Randolph, take a law.
Okay.
Now, the first thing I'm going to do is something about our garbage always being collected late.
I don't think you could get away with it, miss. Unless you fired the commissioner of sanitation.
Florine Felucci? Oh, I'd love to fire her. We were on a double date last night, and she said to this boy I was with...
No, I'm not talking about the girls' day commissioner. I'm talking about Mr. Featherstone.
Oh, the regular commissioner.
Well, I'd better leave him be.
Yeah. Instead, maybe you could pass a law to lower father's taxes.
Oh, I couldn't do that. It wouldn't be to the best interest of the majority of the people.
Well, then what do you want to do?
I'd like to clean up the city.
Well, good. We could start out by cleaning up the mayor's ashtrays. They're filthy.
Right. Will you please stop scoffing? This is a very important position I hold, and...
Hiya.
Gee, hiya, Curly. What are you doing here?
I'm secretary to the DA.
You are?
Sure. My sister Tootsie hired me as her first official act.
There sure are a lot of secretaries around here.
Hey, Judy, I got a terrific idea.
You have, Curly?
Yeah. Judy, how'd you like to pull a raid?
Pull a raid?
Yeah. I happen to know there's some gambling going on today. I could give you the tip-off.
You could?
Sure. 1, 2, 3 Eucalyptus Street.
Oh, Randolph, isn't that marvelous? A raid. It'd positively make me.
We'll perhaps go with Judy to that raid in just a moment. I wanted to ask, has it ever occurred to you that something wonderful may happen to you tomorrow? I don't know what. Might close an important deal. Maybe asked out on an exciting date. But I know it'd be tragic to let acid indigestion ruin your prospects of success or spoil your chance of happiness. Now, don't take chances. Night and day, at home or away, always keep Tums handy. Tums calm an upset acid stomach in a jiffy. Almost instantly, they act to sweeten the stomach. And then it's goodbye to that hateful heartburn and excess stomach acidity. Tums are guaranteed to contain no soda. As handy and pleasant to take as candy mints. Nothing to mix or stir. You don't even need water. Now get Tums tonight at any drugstore. Only 10 cents a roll, or the 3-roll package for $1. Demand Tums for the tummy. T-U-M-S. And now back to A Date with Judy. Well, Judy is mayor for Girls' Day and is about to make a raid. What she doesn't know is that she's about to raid her own mother. Now, let's look on the mayor's office and see what's happening there.
Now, look dignified, Miss Mayor. That's it. Hold it. Get it, Sam.
Isn't it customary to take pictures of the mayor's secretary?
And how about the district attorney's secretary?
Later on.
Well, that's what you said before. It's later now.
Please, Curly. Mr. Stewart is a reporter, and he knows whose picture is supposed to be taken. And anyhow, let's get finished with the photographer so we can pull the raid.
Raid? What raid?
Oh, we've just been tipped off on a gambling joint being run in town. And as mayor, I feel it my duty to see to it
Never
that...
mind the speeches, Judy. Let's get on with the raid. The gambling's liable to stop before we get there.
Yeah. How'd you like that?
I'd hate it. Boy, this is something I wouldn't miss for the world. What a story. I could just see the headline. Gazette reporter cleans up city.
Just a minute. Whose raid is this, yours or ours?
Yours.
You never think so from that headline. How about something like, well, I think this would make nice reading. Girl mayor secretary helps clean city. Gazette reporter helps him.
Who is the mayor's secretary helping?
The girl mayor.
Well, how about getting that in the headline? Say, girl mayor cleans city. Girl mayor secretary helps her. Gazette reporter helps him.
What about me? It was my idea, wasn't it? I ought to get in that headline, too. Why can't it go, girl mayor cleans city. Girl mayor secretary helps her. Gazette reporter helps him. The whole thing thunk up by the district attorney's secretary.
That's no headline. That's a whole story. Well, let's not quibble. Let's get on with the raid.
Okay, now what do we need?
About 25 cops.
And 10 Tommy guns.
5 police wagons.
And the Tommy guns.
Sirens, loud ones.
And don't forget the Tommy guns.
It'd be nice if we could each get a blackjack, too.
Oh, boy, what a raid this is gonna be.
And what a story. I can just see the headline. No. I better not start that again. Well, Miss Mayor, call police headquarters and give the order.
You really think I should?
Of course, aren't you, Mayor?
Well, of course, only I
Hurry
thought...
up, Judy. Some stool pigeon's liable to tip them off and they'll stop gambling.
Oh, that's silly, Randolph. The only ones who know about it are right here, and none of us is going to tell them.
You never know who you can't trust.
You're positively right, Curly. This is vital. Police headquarters? This is Judy Foster, the mayor, calling. Hello? Hello, police headquarters? Well, I'd like 5 police wagons with sirens, loud ones, about 25 cops.
Hey, don't forget the Tommy guns.
And the blackjack.
10 Tommy guns, a lot of blackjack. Hello? Hello?
What's the matter? Were you cut off?
No. He said, wouldn't you like a couple of tanks and some air support, and hung up.
He must have thought you were kidding.
You mean he wouldn't jump at the chance of cleaning up the city?
Maybe he's one of the gang of gamblers. Maybe he's trying to cover up for him.
I doubt it, but I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a run over to the police department and see what we can arrange. I'll use my influence.
Something tells me we're going to need it.
Hey, look, kid. Look, Miss Mayor. Would you settle for a nice, quiet little raid?
Come on, Maloney, give me a break. It'll be a heck of a story. Girl mayor pulls raid stuff.
Give me a break, too. I can't send out 25 cops and 5 wagons. We didn't send out that many when we got the rumor Dillinger was in town.
Well, maybe we could compromise.
Okay. What'll you settle for?
Well, how about 10 cops?
Make it 5 and no Tommy guns, and I'll throw in an extra siren.
Oh, boy, let's go.
Well, here we are. 1, 2, 3, eucalyptus street.
Okay, park the Black Mariah.
Curtains on the windows may be hiding our men.
Hold it, everybody. Sam wants to get a picture. Okay, take it, Sam.
I bet not every mayor we have goes to her own raids.
I bet not.
Now, sneak up to the front door and then break it down.
No, that's the old-fashioned way. Let's each break in a window and surround them.
Couldn't we just open the door and go in?
Hey, what's the matter with that cop anyway? Hasn't he ever been on a raid before?
He certainly acts as if he hasn't.
There'll be no breaking anything down. We advance in an orderly fashion and ring the doorbell.
No breaking anything down?
No.
Yeah, didn't you see that movie at the Bijou last week? They broke everything down.
Yeah. And the time Humphrey Bogart made a raid, why, he surrounded the house...
I ain't Humphrey Bogart.
Maybe we shouldn't go in the house at all.
Maybe we just ought to send them an engraved invitation that the company is requested at the county jail Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
Now, don't get discouraged, boys. Things are bound to be exciting once we get inside.
Gee, this house doesn't look much like a gambling house.
They never do.
Of course not, Judy. In the last Boris Karloff picture, the house looked awfully innocent. But you know what was inside?
Frankenstein?
No, a werewolf.
All right, now, ring the doorbell.
Doorbell. Things would be a lot different if I were mayor, I can tell you that.
Well, the front door's open. Never mind the doorbell. Let's go in and get this over with.
Don't forget to grab whatever evidence you find. Whiskey, cocaine, anything.
Well, I have a feeling this is going to make quite a little story.
Number 32.
Sounds like roulette.
Or a crap game.
Number 7.
They're all females.
Mr. Stewart, wouldn't you like Sam to get a picture of the gamblers?
Yeah, shoot it, Sam.
Number 26.
Oh, the joint is pinched.
Everybody line up against the wall.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm supposed to do the talking.
Now, just a minute. What is this? What's going on here?
This is a raid. Everybody's under arrest.
Now, wait a minute, son. I'm the one that's supposed to do...
You're all covered.
Covered? What on earth are you talking about?
Randolph, Judy, what are you doing here?
Oh, my goodness, it's Mother.
Well, what do you know? Mother's a gambler.
Think nothing of it, Randolph. So's my mother.
Judy, what on earth are you doing here?
Just making a raid, Mother.
A raid?
Now, ladies, just keep calm. Quiet. Now, don't touch anything on the gambling tables.
Gambling tables? How dare you come into my house like this and...
Now, take it easy, lady.
I will not take it easy. Police walking in here and... Do you know who I am?
I don't care who you are. That doesn't cut any ice with me.
No, don't let her pull any special privilege stuff.
Should say not. And don't give me any my husband will have your bad stuff, lady. Don't give me that. This is my job.
How dare you take that tone with me? My husband will have you fired off the force.
Madam, I'm from the Gazette. May I have your name, please?
You certainly may.
Thank you.
I am Mrs. Hagel.
Not Mrs. Ephraim Hagel?
Precisely. The wife of Mayor Ephraim Hagel.
Well, Judy has not only taken over the mayor's office, but she now has his wife in custody. We'll see what happens in a minute. But first, did you ever try to sit through a business meeting or the movies with acid indigestion? Then you know what suffering is. Now, with Tums in your pocket, however, all you need do when you feel any sign of acid indigestion is slip 1 or 2 Tums in your mouth as you would candy mints, and comfort is yours. Tums quickly relieve the distress of acid indigestion, heartburn, and that uncomfortable full feeling. Now, millions of people, night and day, at home or away, carry Tums with them. Many people make it a point to take 1 or 2 Tums after each meal and before going to bed at night, or when they smoke too much. They find it wise to keep their stomach sweet. Now, try Tums as a relief for acid indigestion. For Tums act differently from most other antacids. They contain no soda or other water-soluble alkalis. Tums never over-alkalize your stomach or cause any acid rebound or relapse. Now, tonight, get Tums for the tummy. All drugstores, 10 cents a roll, 3-roll package for $0.25. And now, back to A Date with Judy. Well, Mayor Judy Foster made the raid, only to discover that not only was her mother present at what they thought was a gambling house, but it was the real mayor's house. Let's see what happens now.
Jeepers, the mayor's wife.
Imagine her running a gambling joint.
Curly, why didn't you tell me this was the mayor's house?
Well, you might not have made the raid.
I'll say we might not.
Oh, Curly, didn't you know your own mother was here?
Sure. Where'd you think I got the tip-off?
Oh,
Well,
Curly.
it looks like we made a mistake. Excuse it, lady.
Yeah, goodbye, Miss Hagel. Come on, kids, come
Oh,
on.
no, you don't. You're not going to get out of it this easily.
Oh, but Mrs. Hagel...
Silence, Mrs. Foster. Your children, abetted by an officer on the force, have raided my house. They're not going to crawl out of it now. I'm going to make an incident of this.
But, Mrs. Hagel, it was...
I insist on my rights. Officer, arrest me.
Oh, ma'am, do I have to?
You certainly do. I demand it. And you with the camera there, take a picture of me being apprehended. I want the whole town to know about this, and just wait until my husband finds out.
Jeepers, Randolph, we're certainly in a mess, aren't we?
We certainly are. I never knew anybody who wanted to get arrested as much as Mrs. Hagel.
Oh, Randolph, what'll happen when Father finds out what we did?
He'll murder us.
Well, I took the liquor over to the chemist's office for analysis like Miss Hagel demanded.
The liquor?
Yeah. Whatever was in the glasses the ladies were drinking out of, I'll bet there was whiskey in it.
Oh, gee, Curly, how can you talk that way about the liquor your own mother was drinking?
Well, the way I feel about it is this. As a servant of the people, I can't give any special privileges to anybody, not even to my own mother.
Gee, you're the toughest DA secretary this town ever had.
Jeepers, I feel terrible. My mother in jail, and it's all my fault.
Oh, don't worry, Judy. I had it personally from the jailer that she's in the most comfortable cell in the whole caboose.
Jeepers, what are we going to do now?
What we're supposed to do is have a hearing and let Tootsie prosecute them. And you have to hold the hearing, Judy.
Me?
That's what the policeman said.
Tootsie said she isn't going to do it.
Isn't going to do what, Curly?
She said she isn't going to send our mother to jail. She said if you want to send your mother, you go right ahead. But she's not going to do it to our mother.
Oh, caterpillars, I wish I'd never written that composition.
Wish granted.
Who's responsible for this outrage? Which one of you 3 kids is responsible? Well, don't stand there gaping at me. I want to know which one of you is responsible.
How do you do, Mayor?
I want my wife released from jail immediately.
So do we, sir.
Then what did you arrest her for?
She insisted.
And also, she broke the law.
Broke the law by playing bingo for charity?
For charity?
Yes, for charity.
But they were playing bingo, and Section 43, Article 287
Oh, to
says
heck
that it...
with Section 43, Article 287, whatever that is. If it says playing bingo is against the law, it's unconstitutional. Unconstitutional, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and how, sir?
Give me that phone. Hello? Yes, this is the mayor's office. Huh? Chemist's office? I don't know what you're talking about. What does he mean? His analysis shows it was pure lemonade.
Gee, imagine that. Pure lemonade.
Bad break, Curly.
I was never so mad in my life. My wife in jail.
Oh, don't feel so bad. My mother's in jail, too.
So is mine.
Your own mother's? You arrested them? Say, what kind of children are you?
Well, sir, we had our civic duty to do, and I'm afraid we did it.
Oh, how could you? Do you want your mothers to have criminal records? Do you want them to go through life bearing the stigma of a criminal?
Well, no.
Then release them and we'll forget the whole thing.
I wish I could, sir.
Well, why can't you?
Because your wife won't let me. She is standing on her constitutional rights. She demands a hearing.
She does. Oh, how do you like that woman? Trying to make something of this, is she? I knew it. She was always jealous of my publicity.
Well, maybe if you went to her and tried to reason with her, sir.
Reason with my wife? Ha!
I take it we're stumped.
You said it. If my wife said she wants a hearing, brother, she won't stop until she's heard.
Oh, yes. His Honor, Her Honor, Mayor Foster. Everybody stand up. Everybody sit down. The court is now in session.
Randolph, what do I do now?
Call the first witness.
Who is the first witness?
Call Mother.
Mrs. Foster, take the stand, please.
I certainly will.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, and I'll start right now by saying just wait till I get you home.
Witness will please confine herself to the questions.
Yes, Mother. Will the district attorney's secretary, Mr. Curly Whiteman, please start prosecuting?
Yeah, Judy. Your Honor. Well, I don't know what to ask her, Judy. What shall I say?
Well, ask her. I don't know.
What should I ask her, Mayor?
I don't know. You're the DA's secretary.
But I haven't had much practice at it.
Judy, call a recess. We'll have to think of something to ask her.
All right. Court is recessed for 5 minutes.
Everybody stand up. Everybody sit down.
Gee, I wish I knew what to do.
Yes, so do I. My wife is the most stubborn woman, standing on her constitutional rights. I'd like to stand her on her head. That's what I'd like to do.
Why'd you have to write that composition in the first place, Judy?
Well, I didn't actually write it. Randolph did.
One day I get a chance to go fishing, and this has to happen.
As a matter of fact, Judy, I tried to tell you several times that I didn't write the composition either.
I just get a big one hooked and then call back to the city.
Randolph, what do you mean you didn't write the composition?
I mean, I didn't.
Randolph, if you didn't write the composition, who did?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln?
Good heavens.
Yeah, I was copying one of his speeches for my homework, and you grabbed it and I...
jeepers. You mean Abraham Lincoln wrote my composition?
No wonder you won first prize.
Actually, you aren't really the mayor, Judy.
That's true. If Abraham Lincoln wrote the composition.
Then Abraham Lincoln's mayor.
No, he's not, but we may have found a way out of this.
Well, if you're counting on Abraham Lincoln...
What I'm trying to say is Judy is out.
Out?
Correct. She is not the mayor on a technicality.
How wonderful.
Call the case again.
Did you call, Mayor?
I did. Open the doors.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Don't anybody bother to sit down. This will only take a minute.
Listen, folks. I have an important announcement to make.
What is it?
I've done the most terrific thing. I've impeached myself.
Before we reach what we're sure will be the end of Judy's political career, I have a question here. Do you have nights when you can't sleep, when you just toss and turn, you can't turn off your mind? Well, one of the commonest causes of insomnia, everybody knows, is discomfort caused by excess stomach acidity. Do you know that one of the quickest and surest ways to relieve acid indigestion is Tums? Yes, for that full feeling and that heartburn, millions, literally millions, night and day, at home or away, keep Tums handy. Why deny yourself another minute? Take Tums, the quick way to stomach contentment. Tums are different. They're guaranteed to contain no bicarbonate of soda whatever. They quickly, positively neutralize the excess stomach acidity without over-alkalizing your stomach. Oh, how pleasant Tums are to take. There's no mixing, no stirring. At the first sign of acid indigestion, just slip 1 or 2 Tums in your mouth, as you would candy mints, and see how quickly you get relief. At any drugstore, 1 dime for a handy little roll, 3-roll package for a quarter. Tums for the tummy, spelled Tums. Now let's take one last look in on the Fosters at their home the next morning.
Well, the nerve of that reporter.
Why? What'd he do?
What did he do? And after all we did for him.
You mean to him?
Well, that was as much his fault as ours. He might have shown a little appreciation for what we tried to do for him.
Well, what did he do that's so terrible?
Just take a look at the Gazette's headline today. Just look at it. The nerve.
Is it bad?
Is it bad? After all we did, just imagine him putting in this headline, City Hall burns down.
A Date with Judy is written by Aline Leslie and stars Louise Erickson and Dix Davis. The music was composed by Paul Sortel and conducted by Konstantin Bakalennikov through the courtesy of RKO Studio. The program was produced and directed by Helen Mack. Be with us again next Tuesday at the same time to keep your date with Judy, and remember, night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums, Tums.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.